Alright, good morning. So it's Monday. Took a day off to kind of finish this up. And what I'm working on now is the mounting plate for the actual vise. So I just cut out a piece of 1/2 inch stock here, flat stock. And then the goal here is to kind of center that, mount that on there. I've got to drill a couple holes to mount the vise for some bolts, but that's where I'm at right now. So now I'm just going to mock this up, clean up all the sharp edges and stuff. You know, when I need to use my vise, it'll just slide onto here. And that's all welded on up there, so I can put a pin in there. So that's the plan of attack. Okay, now I'm just drilling the holes, and I'm going to tap them so that they receive these bolts right here. These are grade 5 bolts. Yeah, grade 5 bolts. It's the strongest I have, and I got 2 of them, so I might see if I can find a little bit smaller washers. I don't like how it hangs over the edge, but I'm being picky. Anyways, I'm just drilling and tapping these right now. Like I said, it takes a 5/8 NC11, and I've got a whole set here that a buddy of mine gave me. He just doesn't do this kind of stuff, and he got it for Christmas. Definitely a Chinesium set, but I've had great luck with this set. If I could find a brand name on there, I'd let you know, but there is no brand name. It's like I said, Chinesium, but it's been a great set. I used the crap out of it. I must use this one a lot because it's already got oil on it and everything. Still feels pretty sharp. So yeah, I mean, for free you can't beat it. But even if I would have had to pay for this, I would be pleasantly surprised because it's held up well. So let's get to drilling and tapping these holes now. I checked my phone. My son works at a restaurant, and they're having corned beef sandwich today. It's one of my favorite sandwiches, so I might have to hit him up for lunch. Yeah, that's the one. Alright, I gotta find a different one. Batteries do last quite a while. I can't remember last time I charged that. And these are both 2.5 amp hour. I've got that 4 amp hour, and obviously that lasts longer. I usually use it for my chainsaw. Okay, I'm being summoned for lunch, so we'll come back to this after lunch. I just like to be prepared when I come back so I can get right to work, no matter if I'm running to the store or going out for lunch. Or today I actually got to run to the store and go out for lunch, so I'll be gone for a little while, but we'll finish it up when I get back. See if I can find some lock washers for these, but that's pretty much all there is to it. There's a screw into there and onto there, and then we'll test fit it over here. Okay, so you get the gist of things. That's kind of what I was after, and seemed like it'll work. Like I said, I got this vise from my father-in-law. It's super heavy, certainly built to take a punishment. Okay, so struggle a little bit with that. Got to do some fine-tuning, maybe throw some lubricant in there. But I'm also going to put this pin in, which should take away this little chatter here. I don't know if I really told the story about this. I think I mentioned I got this vise from my father-in-law. It's a very nice vise. It's probably 40 pounds, 50 pounds. I don't know. It's heavy, especially with the plate and stuff on it now. So it'd be good for really heavy duty stuff. But I do have one more vise that I want to install on the end in similar fashion. I can take it off and on. So I'm going to do that probably next. But the only thing wrong with this vise is the handle itself. My father-in-law said he found it alongside the road somewhere. And so it probably fell off somebody's work truck. And you're never going to find the person, you know. So he ended up giving it to me. But yeah, this bend right here prevents it from, you know, going back and forth. Sometimes it gets stuck. You just have to do that. So the way this is, it looks like it either is pressed on the end or it's just forged. I think it's either pressed or welded, to tell you the truth. So I don't know how I'm going to get that out. I did try to heat this up and bend it back and stuff, but my little propane torch didn't heat it up enough, and I think this big old vise just sucked up all the heat. I never could get it red or orange, yellow, whatever. But yeah, so that's it right there. I think I'll just put you on time lapse from here on out because it's just drilling holes so it can accept the pin, and that should do it. Alright, I got that big vise mounted. Pretty happy with that. There's always a little bit of play when you use a hitch type of receiver. I'm just going to be using that vise to hold stuff and beat on stuff and so on and so forth. Now I have this other vise that I want to do over here in this corner, but I don't have enough square tubing, so I'm going to salvage this. This is my first attempt at making forks many moons ago, and yeah, I've patched them several times, lifted way too much with them several times, and I don't know, a couple years ago I got a proper set, so this has been sitting in the boneyard for a few years now, being unused. I'm not going to use the forks ever again. I will keep the plate because it's a quick attach type of plate. I do want to eventually make some sort of man basket, and I'll probably use that. So yeah, I'm just going to try to get this off, cut this off. I think my plasma cutter will cut right through that stuff. I figured I'd just bring you along another project on the new welding table. When I get the money and the time and the ambition, and I get my carport done out there, I'll have fresh concrete. I'm going to build a gantry so I can move this kind of stuff. Or maybe I'll have an overhead crane. I'm not really sure yet. Alright, so I'm just going to keep scabbing parts off of this. Really no reason to film it. It's like watching paint dry, right? So I'll bring it back when I get back on the vise. Just taking longer than I thought. Alright, so I got my mount all done on the far side over there for that second vise. And I'm glad I'm doing this. This vise out too far. I don't have the feet all the way down, so that'll make a difference, but it makes it a little tipsy over here. So over here, I've got the angle in there. So that's the receiver. That's all mounted to the table, and I'm gonna have to get either get another sleeve or make one, because I want to be able to just put this to the side and keep the sleeve attached to the vise like the other big vise there. So that's where I'm at. I'm actually cleaning up this old vise. This is Allied, and it seems to be okay. I know I put a bolt in it just to keep the swivel on. I guess it's on its foundation, but whoever had this before me, they did some spot welds probably to their welding table. So I'm just cleaning it up, doing a minor restore, getting rid of these welds that were definitely not factory, just so it'll sit on my plate a lot better, and I don't have to worry about any protrusions or anything. So yeah, just figured bring it along here. Okay, that's all I'm going to do for this one. I'm not really worried about cleaning it up. I see it's got grease on it. So at one point I must have greased it up. Probably years ago, but works just fine. So I'll kind of repeat the same process. I'll cut a plate out of that 1/2-inch stock there, and that plate's actually going to be bigger than that, even despite this being considerably smaller. It's a 4-inch. It's probably half the weight, 20 pounds maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so I'll cut that plate, probably 9.5 inches. Yeah, we'll just go 10 by 10. Cut that plate 10 by 10. Weld a sleeve to it, tap some holes, bolt her down, and it'll go over there on that corner there. I got to cut that down too, so if I know I'm coming out 10 inches with my plate, I can go ahead and cut down that square tubing over there. Let's see if I know it's almost dinner time, but I want to get this cut down. I found my Sharpie. Some sort of, oh, here we go. So it might come out 9 inches. Let the plate hang over 1 inch. So I'm going to cut this down on my crappy ass POS Harbor Freight cutoff saw. For now, that's all I have, so make do with what you have, right? Takes a day and a half to get through, but I get through it. I actually went shopping today to pick up a new metal blade, and they didn't have that Speed Demon that I was using before, but they did have this. I mean, it just shows like, you know, rebar and thin wall tubing, so I don't know if it's going to cut through that thick plate. I'll just take an 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch at a time and see how it works. Alright. That'll go in like that. Then the plate will have that 6-inch or so sleeve, which will slide right over that. This one's a little bit tighter. So we'll little happier with that. Can't really do much about that. I could probably shim it and stuff, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to be beating and bending and all kinds of stuff on it. So, all right, well, I'm going to call that a day. A little bit more work than the wood splitter repair, but it's been rewarding. I really enjoy working with metal. It is dirty for sure, but other than that, I really like it. And I think my table turned out really good. I did get some ceramic flapper discs today, 60 and 80 grit. So I'm gonna kind of address the tabletop again and see if I can get it looking better and a little flatter too. Like I said, it's pretty flat. The main thing is just to make sure I have a good ground, so I don't want any rust or any scale built up. So that's a wrap for today. Appreciate you watching.